All right. Welcome to an episode of Powerhouse Conversations brought to you by Dream Big Sports, the home of the best podcast for athletes looking to leverage their technology to power their brand. We have powerful conversations around digital transformation and athletes' brands. We bring on guests to discuss hot topics to monetize their brand. Our guests share their expertise and experience so that they can inspire innovation in our audience. I'm your host, Fred Underwood, and with me today is Bree. She's a special guest. She's a media and marketing professional, and she's with the Free Game program. Bree has worked as a contributor for Hoop Scene, Fansided, and most recently The Athletic. She founded the Free Game program, which is a nonprofit organization designed to help design and prepare amateur student athletes for life after sports. Bree, how are you doing today?
I'm doing super, super well. How are you?
Good. Did I hit everything that
Man, that sounded beautiful. I want to take you everywhere I go, and you can just do that before I walk in every room I go in.
No, that'd be dope. That'd be dope if we had somebody to come in and just introduce us. We don't have to introduce ourselves. That'd be dope.
Facts. So, no, thank you for having me.
How's your day going?
Good. It's going great. I made some big moves for pregame today. It's actually a great day to be on, so I'm happy that I get to talk to you tonight. But yeah, it's been a great day. I can't complain too much. How about yourself?
It was good. Like I said, closing out the month. So, preparing everything for we're leaving out of the summer and we're heading into the fall. So getting everything started, football season about to start. So
yep.
It's good. How was your summer?
It's been an interesting summer. It's been a lot more work than play. Okay. But I feel like I've managed to get a little bit of a balance here recently. Okay. But it's been very productive. Things have been going well at the Athletic. I really enjoy what I'm doing, so that's always a big bonus. And yeah, just picking up momentum with Free Game. I really found a partner that I feel like I can work with to help me grow it to reach the next level. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, like you say, we're about to hit the new month. So I'm just feeling good with this momentum. Thank you for having me tonight. I feel so great to be rolling into a new month, being a guest on this dope podcast. So thank you.
No, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. So let's get started with, tell me how Free Game started and, what was the foundation of it?
Yeah, man. So Free Game really started when I was a kid, really. It's just a culmination of all my life's events. And the things that I've learned over the course of, 27 years of being a student athlete, I put it into service. So basically, I started Free Game in 2020. This is during the pandemic. This is COVID. And I actually had the idea in 2018. In 2018, I was working at the radio station, which was Hot 107.9, Magic 107.5, Praise 102.5, Classic 102.9, huge radio station. So I didn't really have the time to give Free Game the attention that I wanted to. But, God has his ways. I ended up being furloughed from that job because of COVID, which gave me the time then to birth Free Game. So I did my research. I figured everything out on the business side, decided I wanted to go nonprofit, and I put it together. And because I had so much time on my hand, at that point, I'm selling T-shirts out of my car. I'm getting it. I'm hustling. Right. But I have Free Game on my hip, and I'm taking it everywhere I go. So, I end up getting on with the Athletic, and it was just really me having been a student athlete and some of the things and struggles that I went through, the things on the mental health side, the things preparing for my career, I turned 25 at the height of the George Floyd, the George Floyd things in Georgia and Atlanta. And we were downtown, marching and things like that. And I'm like, man, some student athlete woke up, a couple of days ago and that was their last game. Like they didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Some kids, COVID hit and that was it. Their eligibility is up, whatever. I know some of them ended up getting their year back, but still it was an identity shock for a lot of them. Right. And you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be able to, provide some type of service, some type of help to let these kids and these former student athletes know that, everything was going to be okay. So that's really where Free Game came from. God put the idea on my heart in 2018, but he gave me time to really birth it and give it the attention it deserved in 2020. And I've been rolling ever since.
Right. So yeah, like everything has a purpose. And I think that's a dope way to explain it, because like you said, you can have that idea, but then you have to go and execute on it. So you had time, and then, blessing in disguise comes about, and you get that time back to actually do what your purpose is and what you wanted to do. So, you talked a lot about the mental health aspect of it. Like, tell me, some of the things that how important that is to you, and
Oh, man.
with you starting this.
Yeah, so I mean, when you asked me how I started free game, I said it was really started from me as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball. I was really talented athlete, really small, but I was really, really talented, and I got the opportunity to play on some really, really talented teams. And through the midst of that, I was definitely experiencing what I didn't know at the time was anxiety.
Hmm.
And, I wasn't able to put a name to it until I was an
Right,
adult. You know what I'm saying? And by then
right,
I could create free game and do something about it. But, you know, 6 year old, 7 year old, 8 year old me is like, oh man, like, what is this going on? You know what I'm saying?
right.
So, um, that anxiety, it's hereditary. Sometimes it's a product of what kids are going through these days. I just listened to a podcast yesterday and it's saying, kids are looking at social media and there's just so much pressure, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, to perform at extremely high levels that are really
Right.
unheard of.
Right.
And so, I saw all those things happening. And then, like I said, I watched a lot of my friends go through identity shock after,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, we finished playing ball. That last buzzer rings and that's it,
Right.
that part of your life is over. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? As far as playing, you can still stay connected to the game, but that part is essentially over. And so you have to really decide who you are from there. And I felt that was something I really did well. I mean, I thank God, I feel like he's blessed me with a lot of gifts and I was able to explore a lot of different things, but a lot of kids don't get the chance to explore. So
Right.
when that sport is over with, then it's just like, who am I?
Right.
And so that's
Right.
where the mental side of free game really came from.
Gotcha. So tell me about some of the services that Free Game offers to help with things like that.
Yep. So we definitely want to take a holistic approach. We like to approach student athletes as people, you know what I'm saying, as players. And so with that, we try to cultivate them in all areas of their life, really mentally. You know what I'm saying? We provide services to get their mental health, comprehensive checks, wellness checks, and all that. We want to take care of them academically. So, we have certified tutors to provide tutoring sessions. And then, we also have opportunities to get them involved in the community. You know what I'm saying? I use my connections and things like that to get student athletes involved because they need to know what's going on.
Mm.
Finally, we also get them prepared on the court or on the field. You know what I'm saying? I use my network and my folks to get these kids, prepared to play at whatever level they want to play at. Some kids just want to make their 8th grade team. Some kids
Right.
are trying to get a college scholarship. You know what I'm saying? We have, we feel like, all of those serve a purpose and all of those serve a great purpose. So whatever you're trying to do, however you're trying to use sports as a vehicle to move you forward, we want to make sure that we develop you fully so you can accomplish that task.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
Appreciate
So with that, some of the services that you do offer, what are the age groups, or what are the I guess the targets for, is it just K through 12, or like how does that work?
Yeah, I mean it's literally anybody who has ever been a student athlete. So
Gotcha.
it could be a 6-year-old trying to get training, you know what I'm saying? It could be a 26-year-old who, I just finished grad school. I went back to grad school because I didn't know what to do after school, and now I really don't know what to do. So
Gotcha.
it's everybody. I feel like, the goal with free game is once you come in, we get our hands on you. We don't let you go. We see you all the way through, you know what I'm saying, the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? This is a family, a free game family, and we want to just make sure that, we're all developing our best selves.
Gotcha. No, that's big. And I think this leads to that point. Talk about how important it is to build community, because that's what it sounds like your goal is to make sure you're building a community of people.
Absolutely. No, community is everything. It's everything. It's really what you find out, what you have when you're down to nothing. And we feel like we have is each other. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
feel like we were all put here to serve each other in some way. We're all here to serve the earth in some way. And
Hmm.
so, connecting with like-minded people, who go through shared experiences. The student athlete experience is unlike any experience I can compare it to. I can't find
Yeah.
another situation where you face the kind of pressure, where you have to be so organized and disciplined, where you have to commit yourself to something and put blood, sweat, and tears into something. I can't find another scenario where you face all these things. So finding people who have been through that experience is going to be key for you to see yourself through it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know a student athlete who got, their scholarship and made it big all on their own. You know what I'm saying? There was some coach taking them to practice. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't a parent, there was somebody, you know what I'm saying, rebounding for them after the game or after the gym when they're getting shots up. So community is everything, especially in sport. You know what I'm saying? We compete, but, we want to compete with ourselves. We want to be our
Right.
best selves and make sure that the people around us are being their best selves. And, you know what I'm saying? Birds of a feather flock together. So if we all getting better, I think the only way we can go is up.
Yep. No, I think that's a good point as well, because one of the things I always say is that once you get past the mind of trying to compete with everybody else, or like,
Hmm.
trying to look on social media and see what they're doing, when you get to the point where every day it's about, hey, how good can I be the
Hmm.
best version of myself? Like every day is about starting that day and being the best version of yourself that you can be, not about, the day before, but just can I get better every day. So
Yep,
that's
yep,
I think
absolutely,
that's
and that's
big.
something we're definitely firm believers in because everybody's goals are different. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
My goals are different than your goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we have to make sure that we're on a plan to attack our goals and not somebody else's goals.
Right.
And that's really why the mental health side of free game is so important to me because this generation, these kids they're born with phones in their hands, so
Right.
it's first nature to look at what the next person is doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we want to make sure that we center that attention back inward and we focus on what we want out of this life, what we want where we want sports to take us. Like I played on AAU teams with women who ended up in the WNBA. But I
Mhm.
knew when I was 12 that I wasn't going to the WNBA. But I couldn't grasp at the fact that just because they're going, you don't have to go too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I still ended up being very successful. I still will be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're still very highly successful. They're WNBA champions, as a matter of fact. So we're all still highly successful in what it is that we're doing. But I thank that God that I had the foresight and the guidance around me to let me know that their path isn't your path. You know what
Right.
I'm
Right.
saying?
Everybody's journey is different, and yeah,
Man,
everybody has to walk their own journey. Is the biggest thing that take away from that. I was
absolutely.
I was just telling my daughter, actually yesterday, is like, comparison is the thief of joy. Like if you're always comparing or looking at something else, then you're not going to be able to appreciate what's in front of you or what you have. So
Yep,
I think
yep. And furthermore, you don't know what that person did to get it. You
hmm
don't know if they got it virtuously. You don't know if they lied, stealed, and killed to get it. You don't
Yep.
know. So you not might not be willing to do the things that you might not even want it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
After you find
Right.
out what they done to get it. So you're spot on with that.
Yeah, walk your own path, walk your own journey. So
Absolutely.
I think that's big. So I started a nonprofit when I got out of college as well. So I know
Smart guy.
how hard that journey is, putting together camps and pro-ams, things of that nature back in my hometown. So tell the viewers about, how hard that's been for you to get, the sponsors, to get funding, all of that. So let's talk about nonprofits for a second.
Yeah, man. Nonprofit. Choosing that path is it's a purposeful thing. You don't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm gonna start a nonprofit." Like who does
Right.
that? Businesses are literally for profit.
All right.
And I think that's where a lot of the misconception comes from. You know what I'm saying? People are saying, "Oh, nonprofit." It's like, okay, we can still provide services and make money, but it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
hard.
Right.
Selling a service and selling a good is a difficult thing, and that's
Yep.
something that I had to learn as an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? During the pandemic, I'm selling and printing T-shirts out of my basement and things like that. And it's like you're selling a product, that's one thing, but getting out and trying to tell people or alert people of a problem if they don't even know there is one, and then tell them
Mhm.
how to solve it. That's a difficult task.
Yep.
And so for me, the first 2 years that I've been building this up, it's been a little difficult. I think that what I'm saying, people see the vision. I think I got overwhelmed in that I wanted to accomplish so much, but you really have to take it one day at a time. And
Hmm.
that's the most important thing when starting anything. It's like it's a marathon, it's not a
Yep.
sprint. And I got caught up in that wave of trying to make everything happen so quickly. And but what I'm saying, things. What I realized in that is that if you do the small things every day, the resources that you need will find themselves, like they'll find themselves their way to you.
Right.
And I just stay consistent. And, thankfully, very, very recently, I was able to find a partner that's really going to take me and free game, I feel like, to the next level. And so with that, what I'm saying, reaching out and getting people to understand, just telling my story. I always tell everybody, like, I'm 5'2", barely over 100 pounds. And I had a full scholarship. Like, I don't have any student loans. So just telling my story and letting people know what I'm trying to, put them on or let them know about, give them free game. It's like, we can all do it, I feel like, or we can all do whatever it is that we want to do. And so I just been trying to connect with like-minded people, and people see the vision. They're coming along, but it's definitely starting anything is hard. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But choosing to start a nonprofit, I had decided in my heart, God put it on my heart that, my purpose here is to serve. And I feel like as long as I'm serving, he's going to provide, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, whatever I need to make it through. So it's definitely been a struggle, but I think that's what's unique about people who start nonprofits is that they have a purpose behind it.
Yep.
And when you start the nonprofit, you find out how about it you really are. You know,
Right.
so you got
Right.
to start investing your own money. You know what I'm saying? Starting
Right.
a nonprofit is not cheap. It's
Right.
actually more expensive than starting an LLC. So
Yep.
you're making a purposeful choice to go after something. And I think, you know, I really, really admire anybody who's out there, especially like yourself, who's, like I said, just starting something because of a passion burning inside of you. Those are the people that we need to keep going.
Yep. So, what about because you know a lot of these athletes are going to be, or especially if you're in college, going to be entrepreneurs, and that's one of the
Yeah.
big things that I've been talking about is the NIL space, right? So,
Cool.
is that something that you all have been conscious of, or starting to help with?
Absolutely, and that's a whole nother branch of free game. So in addition to, you know, training, tutoring, and, you know, getting the mental health help, we have a professional development side as well. So we want to make sure that they have, you know, their resume is intact. We want to make sure that they're business savvy. They're not just signing, you know, any contract that someone
Mhm.
puts in front of them. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that they're aware of the business practices that have come with the NIL because it's extremely new and it's uncharted territory. Like
Yep.
there are a lot of kids signing their life away. They really don't know what's
Don't
going on.
even know. Yep.
So we want to take that education part and spread that over the business side because that's something that comes with being a student athlete now.
Yep.
Like the moment you walk on the campus, you have opportunities. So we want to make sure that they don't squander it or, you know what I'm saying, let someone take advantage of them. So definitely just being educated, I think is super, super important and it's a big part of free game.
Yep. No, I was actually just talking to somebody about this, as far as like just being able to get legal advice, and I
Yeah.
was we were talking about you know how the universities they haven't found a way to be able to provide the athletes with you know legal counsel,
Yep.
and you know free game would be something that would definitely be able to offer those types of you partner with a
Absolutely.
law firm and you know you're able to get some of these guys these you know athletes the ability to get you know some contracts read or just legal advice on what they're doing.
That's literally it. That's exactly what we do with free game. We were just able to secure, like I said, a mental health checkup for a kid today. So all these services, think of free game as standing in the gap between the NCAA and you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
All the things that the university can't do or won't do for you, free game is there to provide those services because ultimately these schools are a business. You know what I'm
right.
saying? As much as you have the opportunity to make money, that's new to you. They've been making
Yep.
money off you for a long time.
Right. Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? You got to become, you know, as savvy in the business part as they are. So
Right.
definitely want to make sure that we have, you know, people in place who've been through it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is very new. This is something that, you know, you and I as student athletes, we didn't have to deal with.
Right.
So, you know, just using our guidance and our wisdom and what we did experience to help them navigate this new territory, especially as business owners, is super, super important.
Yeah, because I think a lot of it is that you know they're dealing with all these things and it's compiling and it's snowballing and it's snowballing and snowballing and now they're entering this new world where they have to brand themselves or they have to monetize whatever, but you know it doesn't necessarily have to be that, right?
Doesn't.
It can be whatever you enjoy. That's one of the things I talked about recently on the show was you know all it is just finding out something that you enjoy and then you can partner with somebody who does that or you can leverage your personal brand to the things like if you like you know you like eating at a certain type of food or you're a foodie now you can just partner with certain brands to now you eat free. It's
Yep.
just leveraging whatever you have or whatever you like to get those opportunities. And I think a lot of people are overcomplicating it. A lot of people are looking at all these big $1 million deals, and everybody's not that. And like you just said, that the anxiety that comes with, oh well, I don't have a $1 million endorsement. I don't have XYZ deal. Just get your food paid for while you watch.
You know how huge that is not having to pay for food in college?
Yeah.
Like, but you got to think, this is how extreme the kids have to think about it. So you went from, okay, I just want to make the team
Yeah.
to, oh, I just want to start
Yeah.
to, you know, oh, I want to be the best player on the team to, oh, I got to get paid for this now. Why
Yeah.
am I not getting paid as much as he is?
Right.
He's pulling up in, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Yep.
level
Yep.
accomplishment that you have to just be seen as good is insane.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, you and I understand the value of getting our college, you know what I'm saying, our meal plan paid for. Like, that's invaluable to me. But a kid today is looking at somebody else saying, well, you know, they got a Camaro.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you're both blessed. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? But,
right,
you know, it's
right.
a free for all now. So if you don't have anyone to give you that perspective and let you know that that meal plan is okay, not only is that meal plan okay, it's excellent.
Yes.
You're gonna feel like a failure. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just
it's all about
another,
being realistic,
right.
honestly, and knowing what you want.
Yep. It's another layer of like you just said, expectations that's being placed on these kids, you definitely, you know, have to have some type of humility and a level of support that's going to help them get through it. So no, it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
needed.
and we try to provide that support for parents as well. You know, a lot of
That's a
these
good point.
parents are this is the first time they're having a kid try to go through this process. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, they're looking at other kids like, you know what I'm saying, well, this kid's getting this, this, and this. Why isn't my kid getting this? So it becomes a snowballing and compounding effect of everybody having these extreme expectations when none of it is actually
Right.
real, quote
Yep.
unquote. You know what I'm saying? Or none of it is actually feasible for everybody. So we try to, you know, help parents navigate this new landscape as well, because I mean, like you said, they went from wanting their kid to make the team to be a
Yep.
starter to get a scholarship to now we got to get paid for this. Like,
Yep.
it's tricky for everybody. So yeah, and that's where comes back to community, and that's what we're trying to build, a very grounded community. You know, that's all about, you know, bettering individuals and getting better individuals of a community together. So it's all a process, man. But I think it's definitely worth it, and I'm excited to see where we go.
Cool, cool. So what are some of the things that you're doing from a technology standpoint to help get the word out there?
Oh, absolutely. So I actually stay tuned for later next month. I'm actually working with Jordan Brand and a boutique called Soul Play in Atlanta. We're gonna get some gaming tournaments together. I think you know, I like to mix all the different parts of my life that I enjoy together, and I think gaming is a super fun way for kids to find out about, and first of all, to enjoy themselves, to
Right.
decompress, to relax, because kids need to be kids, man. And
Yes.
then two, it's an awesome opportunity to learn about the gaming industry and the careers that are available to them in that. You know, people always, you know, you see your kids on the game, mom and dad are upset, but they don't know that somebody produced the soundtrack that goes on that game.
Yep.
They don't know somebody was in there animating the graphics that let the players do all kinds of dances. They don't know that those are jobs. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So I use my platform, and we mentioned the word community. I have to shout out to my family over at Community and the HBCU Esports League.
Yep.
We broadcast, we give HBCU students the opportunity to game for scholarship money and other opportunities to learn about the gaming industry. So technology has been super important. Like I said, these kids were born with phones in their hands.
Yep.
And so why not use that technology to help give them more opportunities, you know what I'm saying, or expose them to opportunities that they might not have known about. So I think free game and technology are super locked in together. I think they help us grow our community.
Yep. Yep. So that was great, but I want to you know, close out with some questions, and you know, we'll finish up with that. But the first one is, who was your favorite athlete growing up and why?
All right, so I'm gonna go two athletes.
Okay.
First was Allen Iverson.
Oh,
It's ironic because the whole reason I started playing basketball was Michael Jordan and Space Jam. Like, literally, I saw that
right.
movie and I was like, I want to do that. And that soundtrack is fire. I want to make
Yep.
music and I want to play the game.
Right.
And then AI. AI was huge when when I was coming up. I wanted to be him so bad. So
Right.
I was super light skinned when I was a kid. So I had a lot of hair. My mom would cornrow it back. I wanted to be him. So I would have the headband and everything.
That's
I would
dope.
cut my socks open, and this is before they had sleeves. Now, mind you, I'm dating myself. I'm old now. Before they had sleeves, we would cut the sock open and put the sleeve up. And I wanted to be AI so bad. So he was first, and then the GOAT James came through. And it's actually funny because the 2004 2005 Pistons were my favorite team. That
Mhm.
Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, Ben Wallace, that team. And LeBron came through and he scored the last 25 on them in that finals performance. And I was like, man, like, this guy is
Right.
amazing. And since then, I've been watching him 20 years later to see what he's accomplished. Man, that's definitely my favorite athlete of all time.
Cool. 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 What makes you feel inspired?
Waking up every day.
As
Man,
simple
like
as that.
getting another opportunity to be better. Like I try to get better 1% every day, and as long as
Yep.
I have an opportunity to do that, that's inspiring to me. Free
Yep.
game is inspiring to me. My story is inspiring to me, and I hope to use it to inspire others. To chase after your dreams. Like I said, like I'm no superior athlete, but having, what I'm saying, those student loans has afforded me so many opportunities, and I just want people to use, sports as an opportunity to free themselves if that's what they want.
Yep.
So yeah, that's I don't even remember the question. That's hilarious. That started rambling, but
No, it was what makes you feel inspired. And
yeah,
but
like
you hit it on the head. Just
yeah,
gratitude, just
that's
gratitude for
it, man.
another
I'm
day.
so thankful.
No, that's definitely a big one. So what's the most important thing you learned throughout this journey?
Man, I could talk all day about that, but if I had to pick one thing, I would say that as long as you're willing to do the work on yourself to find your purpose, that everything that you need will find its way to you when you're ready for it. That's what
Love it.
I've learned. I would say, yeah, like you got to, it starts in here. You know what I'm saying? It starts with you. All of us are put on this earth to serve in some purpose. So once you figure that out and you go after it and you don't stop, everything that you need will ultimately find its way to you. And you're either going to succeed in it or you're going to die before then. Those are the two options. But if you
Yep.
don't stop, you're going to accomplish it. And I really, really believe that.
Love it. Love it. Who was your biggest influence on the business side of things? Who's been the biggest influence for you?
Man, I have so many incredible mentors, like, and they're legends. It's wild. Like the people that I've come across, I'm so thankful. But to name a few, I definitely have to say, Gil Jones, my manager at Hot 1079, super, super creative, super awesome guy, just a great guy. He came and he blessed me with some awesome knowledge. Coria Falker, man, all my managers, Rye Cole now at The Athletic, like just so many dope and black people that I've been able to work under that have just inspired me and shown me like so many different ways that I can succeed and fed into me really. That's always a big thing. Like you want to be inspired by people, but some people don't want to inspire. And so I've
Hmm.
come across a lot of people who have been willing to just pour into me and give me advice and be there for me when I needed them most. And so I'm just super thankful. So it's a laundry list, man. I can't even name them all the people, but I thank God for each and every one of them.
That's dope. That's dope. And I
Mhm.
think that's always been important. I think one of my mentors that like took me under his wing and showed me what it looks like to be at a C-suite level and black and
Mhm.
doing amazing things. And I think that inspired me throughout my career and along my journey. So I think that's very important that young black kids are able to see people that look like them in positions of
Absolutely.
power or somewhere they want to be. So I definitely I definitely love that you've had that opportunity to be mentored and because a lot I think people take it for granted. I think I may have taken it for granted at a certain time. Everybody doesn't have a mentor. Everybody doesn't want to mentor. Everybody
That's what I'm
doesn't
saying. Like you
look
looking at
for a
somebody like,
mentor.
man, I would love for that to be my mentor. And they're like, there's nothing more that I would hate than being somebody's mentor. And
Right.
sometimes it just works out like that. But
Yep.
that's where it goes back to what I was saying about like as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other every day,
Mhm.
you don't stop. Like the people that you need are gonna find their way to you. And
Yep.
that lets me know that you were doing that. You know what I'm saying? You start your nonprofit, you start your businesses, and the people that you need find themselves to you. So
Yep.
I feel like if you haven't found your mentor yet, I would just say keep going. Like that's
Yep.
literally it. Just
Keep
keep
doing the
going.
work.
They're on the
Keep
way.
doing the work, and they'll find you. They're
1,000.
people who want to grow and cultivate you will see what you're doing, and then they'll come along and help you.
Yeah, and they'll be relentless about doing it. Like
Yeah.
there won't be any mistakes. So value those people when you come across them. But if you haven't yet, like that's it. Just keep going.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed our conversation. What do you want to close out, leave the people with? And you can let them know where to find you.
Absolutely, man. I just want to say, if you listening thus far, thank you so much first and foremost for the opportunity. But second, like go after what you want in this life. Like I said, I started free game in the pandemic, but the pandemic really changed my perspective on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Made a lot of things real tangible. So if you're listening to this, go after what you want. like with all your heart. And, you know, I feel like I said, you're going to get there or you're going to die before then. That's the two things. So, and if you don't stop, you're going to get there. So that's what I would leave them with. You can follow me on all platforms at Bre_Singleton. That's BRE_Singleton. You can follow Free Game at Free Game Program on all platforms as well. Super, super dope organization. I'm really, really proud that I was able to get this started. I'm excited for where we're going. And I hope that if you're a student athlete or a parent or a coach or a trainer or whoever, and you have student athletes around you, that you're pouring into them because they need it now more than ever.
Well, again, thank you. I really appreciate it. This is another episode of Powerhouse Conversations. Yo, make sure you all like, subscribe, and comment. And you make sure you go follow Free Game and Bree. Have a good rest of your day. And thanks for coming on.